That would have been a sick intro, by the way.
Terrible intro, by the way.
People are aroused. I haven't seen people so aroused in a very, very long time.
Welcome to What's Left podcast on the Derealization Nation Media Network.
I can't afford Mountain Dew! Okay? The economy's rough right now! Obama!
Miners, I love miners.
And now, your hosts.
Hey, it's us, it's John, it's Jake, it's Brad, it's the Derealization Nation Media Network. Thank you, Nation, for being here, sharing this time with us. We appreciate everything you do, like and subscribe and sharing all the things that push us out in the algorithm, because what we talk about sure as fuck doesn't. We got a lot to get to. This section, we're going to talk a little bit about Iran, Lebanon, Gaza, and our president, who has been literally on just having a mental fucking breakdown all day long. Started off with an interview. He said things like, I look at these beautiful little babies and they get a vat, like a big glass of stuff pumped into their bodies. And I think it's a very negative thing to do. I would love to see much smaller shots, like 4 visits to the doctor. And I think you would have a much better result with the autism. That- that's a real quote. Like a
What?
vat. Yeah, well, I don't know if you know this or not, Jake, but if you are white and rich and a man, then you know more than scientists, doctors, and years of research. You could sit there in your fucking shit-covered pants and explain to the fucking woman at CBS about how, it's just too much liquid for that baby.
This is a crazy amount of liquid.
It is.
Bruh. He really said that shit out loud.
He really did. He was also asked about, she asked, what happened to the audit of Fort Knox? And he, obviously had no idea what the fuck she was talking, completely forgot, and then repeated the fucking conspiracy theory without actually answering the question. He said that he ended 8 wars again. He said he had the greatest economy ever. Asked where he donated his salary to. He said to White House preservation.
What?
Yeah. All the gold, all the fucking Home Depot shit that's hanging in the, you know. You think Biden would do that? I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't fucking think so. Fucking Democrats.
Jesus. Sick, twisted Democrats.
Hey, if they just real quick, if they audit Fort Knox, the entire economy collapses. It all crumbles to
Yeah,
pieces.
for sure. If he opens,
to pieces.
he opens that door and it's fucking dust and a skeleton.
Right.
We're toast. We all know it's not there.
There's no gold in there. There's not a person in America that thinks there's gold in there.
Yeah, the original inspiration for Schrodinger's cat. Just don't look. So the war, Marco Rubio and Trump both on Friday were like, oh yeah, we're expecting any minute now Iran's going to call. And then Iran ghosted them for the entire weekend. Put out finally responded to the peace plan, not peace plan, the talks, the 1-page memorandum to try to get the talks started, and basically said, here's what we're going to do. We're going to set this out in like 4 phases. First phase, we want to talk about, and like details were scarce, but basically the idea was like the first thing we want to talk about is end all hostilities, including in Lebanon, all hostilities against Hezbollah, all of the hostilities. And so right from the jump, like you could just guess, like that's not going to happen. There's zero chance that Israel is going to stop bombing Lebanon. Zero shot. Or anything else for that matter. Like it's like phase 2 was okay, so after we stopped the thing, then we have the trust building. So these were like 30-day phases. Like they basically said, like, we can't trust the United States of America, so we need, or Israel, so we need some time to like for trust building. And then the third phase would be talking about reopening the strait under the new terms, which are the terms that Iran believes where they now control it with Oman, and they will set up the the routes and tell you how to get through it. And then the fourth phase would be to talk about the nuclear. Trump lit out at that one, was not happy. He had been rambling in like 18-page long True Social posts all day. And then this one, I've just read the response from Iran's so-called representatives, in quotations. I don't like it. Dash. Totally unacceptable. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Donald J. Trump. So yeah, that's where we're at with the war. Uh, back on, even the I don't know, level-headed experts say we got a 60-40 chance of going straight back to war.
I mean, it's profitable.
Yeah, for the right people.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, way to make
it's
money
killing
on.
us, but it's profitable for a couple of people.
Yeah, but he is having an absolute meltdown. He was posting about tariffs. There's one that is literally about the Supreme Court justices that like nobody is going to read. It's just so fucking long. Uh, he also said this one. Listen, let me find it. Jesus. Called, well, basically, Palestinian Chuck Schumer is hiring Eric Holder, yada, yada, yada. Called Chuck Schumer Palestinian, which is so fucking insulting to Palestinians in general. But it just goes to show you, like, they're out here like, I Israel harder than you. And that's American politics in a fucking nutshell. You don't Israel as hard as I do.
Dude, it's crazy. It's
It's,
nuts.
yeah, it's fucking unbelievable. Because Chuck Schumer literally has said his stated purpose in the Senate is to make sure that Israel has what it needs.
And
Israel.
they're clowning him for not being Israel
Yeah,
enough.
yeah, for sure. And you know what? He gets whatever fucking he does because whatever he deserves. He also lashed out at Fox News for having Ro Khanna on. Ro Khanna's up his ass, and you know that's because he's a fucking pedophile and he's in the Epstein files, and they're on him. They're fucking on him, and it's coming. And there ain't nothing he can do to stop it.
Oh man, they're gonna try.
All right, so just I guess trigger warning or whatever needs to be said. Usually I'll give you like a rundown of like the night's activities and they're typically numerical stats and stuff, but like in the spirit of Mother's Day weekend and everything else, like I really want to try to humanize what's happening in Gaza and Iran and all of that. So we're going to show a couple of things and try to just show you what the humanizing thing is because Israel will tell you and Western media will confirm that they are carrying out targeted attacks against Hezbollah or targeted attacks against Hamas in Palestine, and we know it's bullshit. Just for instance, this a story the other day, an Israeli drone chased a man and his daughter down on his scooter, a Syrian man, and his 12-year-old daughter on their scooter. Targeted the scooter, shot the man off his scooter, killed him. As his daughter was fleeing, the drone pursued her. I can't imagine as a grown adult the terror of being pursued by a drone. First of all, she survived. She's in critical condition in the hospital. But just the absolute trauma of having your parent killed in front of you, being on a ride with your father, to have your parent killed in front of you, and then to be pursued by a fucking military drone. How terrifying is that life? They pull up the Israeli Navy pulls up to the to Gaza on the one side of Gaza that isn't blocked in by walls, and they just fire their weapons at random to scare people, just terrorizing them all day long. Here's a video commemorating Palestinian mothers. It's been 946 days of this war and 75 years of occupation.
من قلبك اطلع من قلبي يا الله وانتوا فينا يا عالم وانتوا فينا يا عالم وروني ولادي ابني مروح للمية
So yeah, there's just these are real people, real families losing losing loved ones.
So this is a quote from BB after Iran made their offer this afternoon. He's on 60 Minutes. He says, "I think it's accomplished a great deal, but it's not over." Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu tells 60 Minutes about the war in Iran. Netanyahu says highly enriched uranium must be removed from Iran and believes it can be done physically.
Yeah. Yeah. Minutes later, Donald Trump is posting unacceptable, yada yada. So got his orders. All right.
Israeli soldiers say orders were to kill any man encountered in Gaza. A man, no matter what age, don't play games with it, kill immediately. Israeli soldiers have testified that they were instructed to immediately kill any man they encountered in certain areas of Gaza, regardless of whether they were armed or.
That's it. Just whether or not they're armed. Yeah. That's the
Armed,
important
yeah.
part. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's always, they're of military age. Anybody 14 years and older is of military age, but that doesn't stop them from killing everybody 14 years and younger either. It's just an excuse. So this is a picture of Caroline Levitt, who posted a picture of her new baby, Vivi, joined our family, and our hearts are instantly exploded with love. Unfortunately, not for real. That is not a literal thing. Their hearts did not explode. She is perfect and healthy, and her big brother is joyfully adjusting to life with the new baby sister. We are enjoying every moment with our blissful newborn. The Iran embassy in Armenia replies, "Congratulations to you. Children are innocent and lovable. Those 168 children that your boss killed in the school in Manab and you justified were also children. When you kiss your baby, think of the mothers of those children."
Damn.
Yeah. She should be haunted by that every day. I don't know how you could possibly live with something like that. Also, worth noting that Caroline Levitt is closer in age to her children than she is to her husband. Just worth noting. You're up, Brad.
I love a fun fact.
Crazy number.
Fun fact.
That's a crazy number.
We're dealing with some heavy material here. We need a little bit of levity.
Crust News reports that Israel has murdered 2 paramedics in southern Lebanon, where they are systematically targeting healthcare facilities, mirroring their genocide in Gaza. Today's attacks targeted medical facilities in Kalawai and Tebnine during the Israeli push to capture Bint Jabal. These actions all mark serious ceasefire violations, which now appear to happen hourly.
Yeah, absolutely. Every hour you can catch a ceasefire violation in Gaza or Lebanon. And so when Israel says they're targeting, what they're really targeting, they've targeted women, children, they target journalists, they target healthcare workers, they target police, anybody who may be there to be helpful. Those are their real targets. And also, if anybody else gets caught up in it, like, the more the merrier to them. There is nobody should believe for a second that Israel is targeting anyone specifically. Their only target is the Greater Israel Project. That's it.
They'll literally kill everyone. They do not discriminate about their murder, bro. They are down to kill. It does not matter who they're doing it to.
No,
They
in
will
fact,
wipe them off the face of the earth.
the more helpless, the better for them. They are sick in the fucking head. There's no doubt about that. This is a rogue nation that, if there was no hesitation in World War II to recognize what was happening and stop it. This is like if they had just been like, well, it's just Poland, like this, this is like just letting them walk through Europe is the equivalent of what's happening here. Without any reaction from anyone. And honestly, like, so when you talk about, and I don't really like want to hear, oh, this country, that country, Iran does this. Show me the government on the planet that has a moral backbone or spine. You can find, like, anything that you can say about Iran, you can say about Israel for sure. You can say about the UAE for sure. You can say about Saudi Arabia for sure. The UAE does not get enough hatred for how fucking corrupt and evil they are. Anybody who signed those Abraham Accords, which I've said for years, and finally people are coming around to see some of this, is like they want to be as evil as Israel. They want to get away with the same things, and they want the United States' protection to do it. That's why they're there. They are there for the corruption. They are there for the murder. They are there for the repression of fucking UAE gets attacked and but you can't find it anymore on social media because it's repressive government. They're all fucking repressive. So don't fucking hit me. We're not in Iran because of the government. We deal with fucking corrupt governments all the time, and we are one of the most corrupt on the fucking planet. So fucking miss me with that shit.
Yeah, that's the lamest excuse ever.
Yeah, please. Especially with mask on United States was fucking bullshit enough. Mask off United States? Get the fuck out of here for real. Here's an example of another target of Israel's.
The man gingerly walking down the steps is Ali al-Samoudi, a Palestinian journalist just released from Israeli prison.
I've worked with Ali several times, and I barely recognize him.
A man transformed after being held for a year, without charge and without a trial. This is what Samoudi looked like when I last worked with him, 3 months before he was arrested. He lost 130 pounds in prison, about half his body weight.
هم اساسا الاكل اللي بيقدمونا اياه عشان نعيش كانت يعني عباره عن جهنم حقيقيه. السجن اليوم جهنم بكل معنى الكلمه. في احدى المرات بعد ما عدت من زياره المحامي القونا على الارض على وجوهنا، مددونا على الارض على وجوهنا وبلشوا يضربوا فينا. وقف الضابط الاسرائيلي.
I guess I should translate because not all of you are watching. So my apologies. I was busy reading the subtitles for myself. They threw us on the ground, on our faces, then they started hitting us. An Israeli officer stood and stepped on my head like this and pressed my face into the ground for 4 minutes until I suffocated.
Israel's prison service did not respond to our request for comment about Samoudi's detention. Samoudi is among 105 Palestinian journalists who have been imprisoned by Israel since October 7, 2023, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists. 33 are still being held in Israeli prisons, nearly all of them without charge. That pace of detentions landed Israel as the third worst jailer of journalists worldwide last year, behind only China and Myanmar.
When we asked the military...
All right, I can't let it go to the end of that video without correcting that. Hostage is the term for prisoner without charge.
At the beginning, when you were detained, they said you were, quote, identified with the Islamic Jihad terrorist organization and suspected of transferring funds to the group.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
No. ولا مرة سألوني عن هي الشبهات.
They did not ask me once about any suspicions. My arrest is part of the Israel war against the Palestine press and media, to silence my voice, to block my camera, to break my pen, and prevent me from practicing my right that all laws and international norms guarantee. So all rights and national laws guarantee, and that is regardless of whether or not even if it was true that this man worked for Hamas or whatever the fuck they think he works for, his right as a journalist to report, unless he is providing material support to a terrorist organization, he is not a terrorist. He is allowed to be as pro-terrorist as he wants to be, and his journalism is protected, right? Even if that was true. And Hamas, as we all know, and Hezbollah, these resistance groups exist because Israel is occupying the land on which they fucking are fighting. Without Hezbollah, for instance, Lebanon would already be taken over. So, like, if you don't like Hezbollah, you don't like Iran. Or Israel, I'm sorry. That's who you don't like. Take it up with fucking Israel. Here's another video of a Lebanese child. Everyday life. Climbing a precarious ladder from the upper part of the sturdy part of a structure that they live in. This is common all over Lebanon, and I'm sure, well, probably less so in Palestine because of how much has been leveled. But there are actually groups that go around and try to make these buildings as stable as possible so that people can live in them. But like this is the everyday. Like this little baby is having to climb this insanely dangerous ladder. How old do you think she is there, guys? Less than 8, likely?
Yeah, 6 probably.
Yeah.
Just tiny little baby in her dress having to climb up and down this ladder to get to her home. well, what's left of a home in this
Yeah,
rubble.
which is just a pile of rubble.
Sick. All right, one more. This is a video showing, remembering Lebanese victims as well. I believe I'm going to have to read over this one too. Israeli strikes have killed dozens of people in a single day of attacks across Lebanon during the so-called ceasefire. Here are the stories of those who lost their lives, believing a U.S. brokered deal protected them. Yeah, they returned to their homes. Miriam Faz, not yet 2, had started forming her first sentences. Fearing for her daughter's life, 24-year-old Jana Faz left their home in Zhibich to keep her safe. They were killed when an Israeli strike hit the building they were sheltering in Shashkakaya. The strike killed 7 other members of their family, including Yana's father, uncle, her uncle's wife, 3 of her cousins, and her 7-year-old grandmother. Muhammad Akhtar was watering his crops near his home in the south, where he refused to leave. His family later found him lying in a pool of blood and water, and the hose still running. Jesus. Qasim Abu al-Hassan and Ali Zahid Rizq were driving their cars when an Israeli strike killed them. The attack hit a highway in Sadiyat, linking Beirut to the south, an area outside Hezbollah's traditional stronghold. So not even a place where Hezbollah really exists. Said they targeted Hezbollah specifically when they did this. Members' instructions. The Israelis are lying. Israel is lying. The land is not theirs. Hezbollah says it's carrying out attacks on invading Israeli forces in southern Lebanon. They are doing so as a response to Israel's near daily violations of the April ceasefire. Yes, there is no ceasefire in Lebanon. There is no ceasefire in Gaza. There's only violence there. All right. I'm sorry that that episode had a lot of gravitas to it, but these things need to be said. They need to be acknowledged. This is not stuff you're finding on fucking mainstream media, and if you do, it's like a puff piece at the end of the show, buried in the midnight hour. So this stuff has to be forefront. So I ask you, share this stuff with your friends, share this stuff with your loved ones, let them know what is really happening over there, because it's so fucking important that we just don't let anyone believe these lies anymore. So yeah, check out our next video as well. It'll help take the edge off. I promise. We've got a lot of other less heavy subjects to cover as well. Although, everything is important. Just wanted to make sure that we highlighted this as well. So thank you for watching, listening, liking, sharing, subscribing, and all the great things that you do, because every little bit helps to bring awareness to these situations. So thank you. Until next time, I'm John.
Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
We have been compromised by a foreign government, and in doing so, we are now killing children.